Daniel Smith, a 68-year-old man from Louisiana, spent his entire adult life despising black people and believing women were not smart enough. He was traveling around California with his daughter Mary and grandchildren when suffered a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital. After a series of tests, the cardiologist came to them with the news.
You need immediate surgery. We're fortunate to have one of the best cardiac surgeons in the region. Dr. Evans has performed countless successful procedures, so there's an excellent chance you will recover fully.
Daniel nodded slightly. He had no choice but to agree. His daughter Mary was visibly relieved at the prospect of help. But that relief vanished the moment Dr. Evans walked into the room. She was in her early 40s, with a quiet confidence about her. Daniel's eyes widened, then narrowed, as a wave of prejudice crashed over him.
A woman?
Daniel muttered to himself.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. I'm Dr. Jane Evans, and I'll be performing your surgery.
Jane said warmly, extending her hand. Daniel stared at her in disbelief, refusing to take her hand.
You're telling me the best surgeon they could find is a woman? And a black woman? I'm not letting you operate on me. I want a man, a white man, who knows what he is doing.
Jane felt a familiar sting of rejection, but remained composed. She had faced this kind of discrimination before, more times than she cared to count. Yet, it hurt just the same each time. She had spent her entire career, proving she was more than capable, working twice as hard to be recognized. A few moments later, Dr. Adams, a white male surgeon, came in to talk to Daniel.
Mr. Smith, I am Dr. Adams. I have reviewed your case. But I must tell you, I am not equipped to perform the surgery you need. Dr. Evans is the best. If you want the highest chance of survival, she is your only option.
Neither Mary's pleading, nor the hospital staff's reassurances, could change Daniel's mind. He remained stubborn, unwilling to let his deep-seated prejudices go, even with his life hanging in the balance. As the hours passed, Daniel's condition worsened, and soon he slipped into unconsciousness. The medical team gathered around, and the attending physician approached Mary.
Ms. Smith, your father is no longer able to make decisions for himself. You are now the one who is responsible. Should we proceed with Dr. Evans?
Mary glanced at her father, lying pale and motionless on the hospital bed, and knew what she had to do.
Yes. Do whatever it takes to save him.
20 minutes later, Jane stood in the pre-op room, scrubbing her hands, her mind racing with the events of the day. She could still hear Daniel's hateful words, echoing in her ears, but she forced them away. None of it mattered now. After several hours, the surgery was complete.
The surgery was a success. Your father is going to make a full recovery.
The next day, Jane entered Daniel's hospital room. He was already awake. When Daniel's eyes met Jane's, she prepared herself for another barrage of anger, or resentment. But instead, his eyes softened. He struggled to speak, his voice weak, but there was no mistaking the gratitude in his words.
You saved my life.
Yes. And I'm glad I could.
A long silence followed. Daniel's gaze lingered on her, and she could see the change in his eyes, the realization of how close he had come to death, and how wrong he had been to judge her.
I was wrong. So wrong. Thank you.
It's my mission to save lives, Mr. Smith. All lives. I'm just glad I could help you realize that we are all human. No matter our gender or color.
Tears welled up in Mary's eyes, as she watched her father slowly begin to heal, not just physically, but emotionally.
If you like our content, could you please subscribe this channel, and press the bell icon? This will be of great help to the development of our channel, as we are going to provide you huge amount of interesting information about different places all over the world, and more.